Hey, what's going on, people? It's SGZ here from the SpartanGameZone, and in this video I'll be showing you 7 methods that you can use to easily defeat Graveward on Mayhem 4 in under 60 seconds. Now, a lot of these will kill him comfortably within that time, but that is the cutoff. If you're struggling to kill Graveward or just want to kill him faster, this is for you. What you're seeing now is not a teaser of what's to come. That's how I used to kill Graveward, but we want to avoid that, for sure. So this video will provide you with a number of different ways that you can kill him a lot quicker. And I'll be going over each method in depth so you can get a full idea of what's going on in each kill. I am playing as Zane, so these methods will be tailored to him, but you may also find something useful here if you play as the other Vault Hunters. If this video helped you out in any way, I'd appreciate you helping me out by dropping a like, and let's jump to it. Before we have a look at the first method, here's a look at my shield and grenade mod, which remain the same throughout all kills. And also here's a small look at my skill trees, so you can copy them if you'd like to. It's a typical Zane build and there's not really anything special here. I also don't have any Guardian ranks active. I mean, I haven't even specced into them, as you can see, so you don't have to worry about that being a factor. In fact, it'll be easier for you with them active. I also made sure that every active Mayhem bonus was a neutral one, and I'll show them on screen when I can. I'll be ranking how easy each setup is to complete, either easy, medium or harder, and I'll showcase all the support items when they apply. And let's get to the first combination. The first way to kill Graveward in under 60 seconds is with a stranger, which is normally my go-to, specifically a double penetrating one. Strangers can also come in any element, and an incendiary one is the best for when you're fighting Graveward. What I also use here is an Unforgiven for crit swapping. The best Unforgiven is this one with a 432% critical hit bonus, but you won't need one that high. If you're wondering where to find an Unforgiven, they have an increased chance to drop from Indo Tyrant, you can find at this point of the map in Floodmoor Basin. I also use this Splash Damage Seeing Dead class mod, which boosts mag size, and this Snowdrift Relic, which also boosts mag size. Overall, this combination is definitely on the harder side, and I'll display that in the top left for each kill. A stranger is hard enough to get by itself, let alone a double penetrating one. Mine also has an action skill and anointment, but that doesn't play a huge part in this. The Snowdrift Relic with mag size boost though is also important, and definitely a godsend when you want to pile on stickies. To be successful with this combination, you just need to pummel Graveward with stickies until you have just the one shot left. Then you want to slide, and as soon as you do, you want to change to your Unforgiven. This will cause the stickies to explode, dealing huge damage. You deal more damage the faster you move, and you move the fastest when you slide. You also get a larger damage bonus the more stickies you land, so that's why a larger mag size is better. And a double penetrating stranger lets you pile on stickies faster than any other variant. Moving on to the Scorch now, which has an increased chance to drop from Electric Expander you fight during the final round of the Cistern of Slaughter. We're going to be using crit swapping again here, but with the addition of a rerouter, which boosts our damage by 120%. It has an increased chance to drop from Princess Tarantella, who you fight at this point of the map in the Splinterlands, and this is more of a medium difficulty thing to set up. This one, when done correctly, is one of the quickest ways to kill Graveward, and it can be done on every Vault Hunter. I'm using the same stuff as before, but except at the start where I use a Maggie to proc my kill skills, which you'll see me doing for a number of other methods too. Then it's a case of switching to the Scorch and firing, then changing to the Unforgiven and waiting for the rocket to hit. Now if you have a relic with a mag size boost like I do here, you can fire twice, which easily downs Graveward, and that's another option you can try out. You can also try out a Burning Scourge, which deals the most damage. And if you have an elemental projector artifact and a sellout, you can light yourself on fire to deal even more damage on top of that. Now to another rocket launcher, the Tunguska. Again, we'll be using the same items, but there's no crit swapping here, so you don't need an Unforgiven. You can get a Tunguska from defeating Chomp Stomp, located here in Floodmoor Basin. I'd rate this again at medium because you will need a Snowdrift Relic with mag size boost, and you'll also be better off with the ×2 version of the launcher as it does fire slowly, but when it comes to its vulnerable state, a normal one will probably do. All you need to do really is fire stickies at its crits like you would do with a stranger, and then slide and trigger them by reloading. The gun is inaccurate, so the closer you are the better, but it's a good method and doesn't need an Unforgiven to set up, which does make it quite a bit easier. Moving on now to some more traditional weapons that I rate comfortably on the easy side to set up, and we'll start with the Hyperfocus, which you'll want in fire. You can get one quick by defeating the power troopers you fight at this area of the map in Atlas HQ. For this, I've switched up my relic for one that boosts incendiary damage, and I have a mod that boosts weapon damage by 25% rather than the one that boosts splash damage. There is something else you'll notice me doing here too, and that's triggering my action skill and anointments by activating an action skill and entering the menu. You can use this tactic for anything, and it definitely makes killing him a lot faster. The Hyperfocus deals good damage anyway, and its unique effect helps to hit multiple crits with just the one shot. But when you get the action skill and boost, it becomes almost too easy. Its high fire rate is also key to draining his health bar, and it's a great exponent for defeating Graveward in record time. The second traditional automatic weapon is the HELLSHOCK, which is easier to set up than the Hyperfocus as it always comes in fire. You can get one fastest by battling Gigamind, who you can find around in this area of the Meridian Metroplex. I use the same tactic here with exactly the same items, and it is really easy. I do have a decent anointment on my HELLSHOCK, but I wouldn't call it a deciding factor. It does recoil quite considerably, and that's really the only work you need to do with this, and Graveward's crit spot is big enough to give you some leeway. The HELLSHOCK fires so quick that it literally burns through his health bar, and it fires even faster when your kill skills are active. If I had to recommend the quickest and easiest method of setting up a fast kill on Mayhem for Graveward starting now, this would be it. There's not much to it, and it works a treat. We'll end this guide with a couple of sniper rifles. The first is the Krakatoa, which received a monumental increase to its damage a couple of weeks ago, and it has an increased chance to drop from the Rampager you fight in the Frozen Basilica. I also rate this as an easy setup, and I'm using the same gear as the previous two methods. There's not much here with regards to tactics either. I'm just shooting at his crit spots, no ASE triggering, just shooting. The Krakatoa is powerful enough to do it on its own, but triggering your anointments will make it go a lot faster, and you may as well do it. It only comes in fire, which makes it a lot easier to get than some other guns here, and once you get it from the Rampager, you're all good to go, and Graveward will be down in no time. Lastly, we have the Wedding Invitation, and we get some help here from my mod, which boosts Jacob's crit damage by 45%. You may have received the Wedding Invitation from the Valentine event back in February, and if you did, just put it in your hands and start shooting. If not, it's impossible to get unless you have some friends, which, as we all know, are pretty hard to get to. But hopefully you have one, so you can go ahead and just do this. What makes the Wedding Invitation so good at killing Graveward is its heavy critical hit damage and the fact that it always comes in Incendiary, which, as mentioned before, is the best element for defeating flesh targets like Graveward. It also returns a bullet to your magazine on critical hits, and you can go the whole fight without needing to reload. It's very straightforward like a lot of these that I've covered, and with it you can easily defeat Graveward in under 60 seconds. No problem at all. So that's it. That's 7 ways you can kill Graveward on Mayhem 4 in under 60 seconds. Hopefully there's something in here that you can use to defeat him, and do let other people know down in the comment section if you have another method. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.